Right off the bat, this thing is awesome. If you hate yourself. Hey everyone, Biscuit again, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the high-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam Barbatos, or Barbatos, or however you want to call it. I call him Barbatos. And as a high-grade, this thing is okay. First impressions on it, it's pretty okay. Out of the box, it's definitely not without its issues, partly because of the Gundam frame that's in it, and partly because of some things that are a problem with this kit specifically. Without any more wasting, let's just get right into it. And talking about the box, we have a very nice image of our man Barbatos doing an iconic pose with the mace, sword mounted on his back, and I think that's a mobile worker getting absolutely decimated right there. I'm not entirely sure. Flipping it over to the side, and we get some very nice poses and pictures of the kit when it's going to be all finished, and some of the mechanics and workings of it. As you can see, it includes both parts for the first form and fourth form, so that's something really fun we'll take a look at a little later. And because this is high-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans, they're very customizable with each other, so you can make the second and third form of Barbatos. Flipping it to the side, it's of course just the side view of it, and flipping around right here, we of course get all of this crap, and a short little blurb, but it's all in Japanese, same with the story, so I can't read Japanese, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. Let's take a look at what comes inside. So, let's talk about my main complaint with the kit, the looks. Now, don't get me wrong, this thing is very anime accurate, with a stunning image of what the Barbatos is, and a very nice palm-sized model kit of it. The colors are very nice. We have a pure white throughout the majority of the body. We then have yellow for the V-fin, chest vents, skirt vents, and vents right here. And then we have red for the chin right there, on the crotch right here, and bottom of the feet. And blue for the chest right here, and the two parts in the back. Now, notice how I didn't comment about the yellow right here. So, that actually needs to be painted. I did paint this guy up quite a bit, so at least I painted some of it. I haven't painted all of it. It is very different from what it'll look like out of box. As a matter of fact, the closest thing I have to an out of box look at it is in the instructions right here. We can see right here, to begin with, you build the kit in first form, and then it tells you to build everything for the second form. But as we can see right here, none of the detail on the face is color separated at all. And on this illustration, it looks okay, but without any lines or anything, it looks wonky. Of course, I painted it, as well as painted the eyes, so as to not get any confusion later on when we're talking about the stickers. But yeah, nothing painted right here. This kit is very color inaccurate out of the box, which sometimes is okay, but for a kit with a lot of detail like this, it just looks very lacking. So now let's talk about the stickers. As you can see, I did use the majority of them, however, some of them I have taken off. Number one there is, of course, the eye stickers, and I don't think I've ever seen a high-grade Barbatos that someone has put the eye stickers on and they've looked good. This is my third time building this kit. I have another one of these, but it's painted, and the sixth form, and every single time the eye stickers just looked weird and out of place. So I tried painting. The light doesn't really catch the eyes very well, but they're there and they're painted. Number 2 right here then is for the power symbol in the chest right here. Number 3 is for the two red segments right here on the side skirts. Number 4, both of these are for these segments, the black on the side skirts, but I just painted that after the fact. Number 5 then, this giant one is for the crotch piece right here to add that little bit of detail. And now 6 and 7, wherever they are. 6 are power symbols for the knees right here. All of these are for the power symbols all over the thing, so none of these are color accurate. However, well, they don't come as separate pieces. However, there isn't any way for them to catch the light. However, if there is one thing I'll give them, they do hold up really well onto the plastic they're supposed to be adhering to. And these I did not feel like using at all because they do not ever look good, so I just decided to paint them in with a Gundam marker. And honestly, yeah, that's the weakest aspect of this kit, as well as some stability issues, but those I can give a pass because of the inner frame. Let's move on to the accessories. And here's the high-grade Gundam Barbatos with everything that it comes with. Starting off with the weapons, we have the giant mace. It's not that big, actually. It stands just a little bit taller than the mobile suit itself. This can be held in either of the hands, and it just slides in just like so. And there we go. It holds in relatively okay, as long as it's holding it in one of the 3 segments right here, which are actually meant for it to be held in, but that's not stopping you from holding it anywhere else on the kit. Then we have the long sword, or at least I think that's what it's called. This might be some other form of that sword, I'm not entirely sure. This is also a weapon that the thing holds, obviously. And this you will actually have to take off the hand and the back for it to be able to hold it. But stand back up. The plus side to that is it goes in and holds in very well, and it won't be coming out anytime soon. So pop that in, and there we go. This is one of the few high grades ever, in my opinion, that the weapons don't feel like an afterthought and actually go into the hands very nicely. So, and that's always really nice to see with high grade kits, because that doesn't happen too much, especially with some modern ones. I'm looking at you, Destiny. Now, popping that back on, let's talk about some of the other things it comes with. So, as we saw earlier, it comes with parts to make it into the first form of Barbatos. And the way we do that is quite simple. We need to tear off this whole arm right here, place in the replacement, pop back the hand, and tear off the shoulders. 1, 2, and now you have Gundam Barbatos as he looks like in the beginning of Iron-Blooded Orphans. The more, I suppose, I don't want to call it battle damaged, because it never was. Unfinished, we'll call it. So, on popping that back there, you of course don't have anywhere to put these parts, so just kind of throw them away or whatever, I don't know. Then we have these two. These 2 parts don't really have too big of a role for this kit itself. What they do is you come over to the backpack, tear off one of these parts, and there are 2 attachment segments where you can attach either one of these on either side. These are supposed to be... Oh, hang on, before I continue on. You, of course, have 2 more attachments right there, and there you go. There's a 3mm hardpoint in here, and this is for the smoothbore gun, which this kit does not include, but is included in the high-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans option set, which I'm pretty sure will also give you some open expressive hands and a couple of other things for other high-grade IBO kits. And one last thing. You have 2 adapters. These are the same ones to hold the weapons onto the back. So, they pop into the 3mm holes, 1, 2, and the instructions just say to slide them in like so, but for some reason that forces them, and it's also not a very good grip. I don't really know what they were thinking with this backpack, but this part doesn't even go in all the way. They don't fit super well. I'm just not sure. Well, that snapped in, but... same with the mace. I don't know if it's supposed to hold it anywhere specific, like right here, but it doesn't, yeah, it looks very awkward, and they don't hold super well at all. So these are kind of a lost cause, and I don't even display them with it anyway. Let's move on to the articulation. God. Before we get into the articulation proper, I want to talk about the stability of the kit and the issues that it has. So, this is me giving it a bit of a shake test, and it seems fine, but there are things, more notably just in the chest, that you want to be careful of. To begin with, I had to outright replace the shoulder parts right here. These came off of the high-grade Gundam Bile. These assemble a little bit differently, but have the exact same articulation, the ones that come with this kit. They're fully compatible with everything else. I just needed to change them because for some reason they were very loose. That was a specific thing on my kit because I have built the other 2 Barbatos, or I have built this exact one before and the Barbatos High Grade 6th form before. Both of them were fine, so I don't really know what the issue is with this one. But talking about some not kit-specific things that you should be careful of, the mid-segment right here. So, This almost spine-like section is two parts that squeeze together over a little circular thing back in here that allows it to move at this point right here. Now that's fine and all, it would just be better if it wasn't one peg holding it together, and when that separates, this whole torso becomes a floppy mess. So make sure you glue that because that's super important. And this polycap right here, glue it to, because it pegs in, glue it to this. I cannot tell you how many IBO kits I've built where this joint has just been the whole reason why the kit itself was so infuriating. Glue this to here. It doesn't affect anything articulation-wise. It just pops back in and bam. I feel like it almost gives you more articulation. I don't know if that makes sense. But let's talk about the articulation proper now. So the head is on a polycap, big surprise. It'll go up really nicely and down really nicely. It has some really good chicken movement, and of course, because it's on a ball joint, it'll do everything. Pop that back on, there we go. Shoulders will raise up that far, and the actual arms themselves will go up that far. There's a ball joint in here, and a polycap that goes up with it. So that gives you a lot of really good movement. Arms will swivel all the way around. Nope, they won't. If you raise them up, yes, they will. It's just a little top arm guard right here. You have one bend at the elbow, but that's all you really need. That's as good as a bend you're ever gonna get, and that's all you really need. You have of course, a ball joint right here, and the chest, like we mentioned, has quite a bit of articulation. So combining the ball joint down here and the weird bend in here, the kit can arc back that far and hunch forward that far. And of course, you get the full swivel, everything going on in there. Now, the legs have the super weird joint right there. I've never found this helpful anytime I was posing. In fact, I've found it more annoying than anything. Kicks for the legs, it will go all the way up like that, about 90 degrees. Back, because it is a paralyzed butt flap, nothing. And out to the side, these are on pegs, so they'll swivel around and move up. And for the splits out, I think that's just beyond the splits. Really good, Barbatos. Of course, you get the full rotation right here, except when you're moving back that far, but I don't really know why you would. Full double jointed bend at the knee, very nice. Still holds up compared to a lot of other high-grade model kits, I feel like. And this kit was released all the way back in 2015, I believe. Full rotation here at the foot. It's on a ball joint, and this crazy, I want to say like drum joint, which allows the foot to pivot all the way out and around, which is super weird and awesome. I really like it. So that ensures that the foot will pretty much always be on the ground no matter what pose it's in. Of course, it'll bend out and bend down, and the ankle guard will move up however you please. So articulation on this thing is phenomenal. You can get some really dynamic and interesting poses out of them. This is, in my opinion, one of the best articulated high grades ever. Holds up to that of the Sharzaku we reviewed not too long ago. And this was a kit from 2015, 2016. Yeah, really good. Let's move on. So, final thoughts on the high-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam Barbatos. Ultimately, if you want a high-grade Barbatos, I would say go for it. But if you're a beginner, to begin with, the build isn't awful. It was really simple. I got it done in about an hour and 30 minutes. Then again, it is basically my third time building it. But for someone inexperienced too, it won't take you that long. There are a lot of parts, yet not a lot of color accuracy. A lot of stickers, and yeah, ultimately, I think it just comes down to you. If I had to, if it was up to me, if I just wanted an out-of-box clean representation of the Gundam Barbatos, I would go twice the amount, get the 1/100, or 4 times the amount and get the master grade. This thing, it's just okay. I can't really say anything too much about it. It's just mediocre, which really sucks because I feel like this high grade has a lot of really good potential, but you just have to put in so much effort into it. Especially for beginners, if you're looking for... This could be ultimately what could put you out of doing Gunpla for some beginners, which really sucks to say, but I feel like this kit just wasn't engineered correctly. Don't get me wrong, the articulation and everything else, the accessories, they're all fine. They're all great. I love them. It's just the color accuracy is enough to make me not want this kit. I still really want it because I'm a Gunpla addict, but yeah, it's super difficult for me to recommend it. Anyway, thanks for watching. My name's been Biscuit, and thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow my Instagram because I'm more active on there than I am on here. See you later.